Yes.
And then
Yeah.
I'm getting my TikTok is out now. And then it's also
assortment.
what was it?
Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This year I did start a daily drawing practice, mostly for self-care because I really love drawing and I feel like drawing is kind of like a meditation for me. So it kind of feels like this really nice time to just reflect and, be by myself and think about what I'm doing and just kind of like get into that zone. So today I'm excited to take you on a journey through my daily drawing practice and talk about a few things that I do to make time for my practice. Grab yourself a cozy beverage and bring your sketchbooks if you want. We're going to dive into what I do to make time for drawing in my day. So let's get down to the main stuff. Like time management is the biggest issue I think that people have brought up to me. How do you make time to do a daily drawing practice? I found that setting aside dedicated drawing time each day is really important. And I also have to budget a specific amount of time or else it will be too easy for me to make excuses or to skip it. I gave myself 15 minutes. That's it. I have a 15-minute drawing window. I can go longer if I want to. The 15 minutes is like saying, just go draw for 15 minutes. And if you do something great, cool. And if you don't, well, that's okay too. Consistency for me has really come at the hand of this 15-minute time frame and pretty much working in the evening. So I know that it's become part of my routine that after I'm done with all my family duties, then I can go and draw. Finding a consistent time is important. So find what works best for you and stick to it. I think consistency here is going to be the name of the game. Now, as far as materials are concerned, let's talk through the tools of the trade. I have my trusty sketchbook that I'm using, and although the brand, size, and quality are going to change a lot for me through the year, I try to pick one that's easy to carry. That's probably the most important thing. This is an A5. That's what I'm using right now, or about like 6 by 8 inches. Works best for me since it's really portable. I have a lot of sketchbooks in the queue, and they are all different books I've collected from when they were on sale or I just felt the urge to buy. So I'm going to use all of these before I buy anything new. But currently I'm using a Moleskine Art Collections bullet journal. I got it at Home Goods for $8. It's got a little faint grid on it, a dot grid on it, but that doesn't bother my drawings at all. I paint or draw right on top of that. Right now in February, I'm using gouache in my practice. In the first month, I worked almost exclusively with markers. I personally like Tombow dual brush pens for my drawings. They're great layered for creating really unique and rich colors, and I personally love the marks that they make. They're also really portable and affordable, and I like to just bring like 5 markers with me, and that's all I'm going to use. I also really like to use a Prismacolor indigo blue colored pencil at the end of the drawing to add some crisp details and also some soft textures and to define the shapes of my figures. These are my go-to essentials right now for my daily sketchbook practice. Now, making time to draw every day wouldn't be so hard if I was a full-time artist. And I know many of you are like me. You work full-time and then you're trying to find time after work and your family duties to make time for your own practice. That is so hard. For me, drawing time has to fit in around my day job and my family life. After getting home, I usually make dinner, and after dining, clean up, and a little bit of Bravo TV time, I maybe start drawing around 8 p.m., something around there. So I set up my materials, find my references, and set a timer. This one is so important for me. Daily sketchbook practice needs to be easy and accessible for me. And in order to ensure that I'm going to be successful, I try to remove some of the pain points of this practice. And in my life, that means that I'm drawing at a time that works with my schedule. I try my best to have my materials available for when it's time to draw. And so sometimes that means carrying it with me. If I know I'm not going to be able to get to my studio to do it in time, I'll have them in my bag and I can find some time during the day, or having them ready and set up in my studio at home. And then finally, setting a short timer to encourage me to continue this practice. These things really help to make this a more rewarding experience, and also helps to ensure that I continue my practice, or tries to take some of the difficulty out of it. Now, when I started sharing my daily drawings in 2024, I was often asked how to stay motivated. How did I overcome creative blocks? Mostly like, how do you keep drawing every day? What do you draw? How do you think of something to draw? How do you get the motivation to do it? And that's valid, because although drawing every day can be really rewarding, it's sometimes really hard to find inspiration and stay on track. Sometimes you feel like you don't even know what to do, and you don't really know where to start. And that's just a really easy way to get discouraged and to put off drawing and to break your drawing practice, or to not do it. I mean, we all hit creative roadblocks sometimes, and when that happens, I like to switch things up by trying some new media, different techniques. Exploring different subject matters can really help reignite that spark, get you motivated again to draw. I specifically did a lot of fish-inspired imagery, which came from our Patreon in January. And then by the end of January, I was sick of fish and I didn't want to use blue or green anymore. I wanted new colors. I changed my media and I changed my subject matter. So sometimes that is all you need to really, reignite your spark for drawing. Remember, all of these struggles, all of these like learning stages, they're helpful in us learning how to move past these creative blocks. So think of them as part of the journey and, embrace them when they come to you. There you have it. This is a glimpse into my daily drawing routine. Some major takeaways if you want to start your own daily practice is, number one, dedicate time for your daily drawing and treat it like an appointment. I'm busy during this time. I can't accommodate other things or other plans. If people need me, they're going to need to find me outside of this time. I know that sounds really selfish, but for me, it was really important to prioritize my time and recognize that this practice is really valuable to me. Second, dedicate as much or as little time as you think you can manage. If you can only do 15 minutes, that's cool. Third, be prepared. Choose your materials that are easily accessible and portable. If you think that you're going to have small pockets of time throughout the day to work, maybe you can bring your stuff with you. Having your materials on hand will make it more likely for you to draw. Wherever you have some downtime, you can just pull out your stuff and draw if it's portable and it's easy to bring with you. The fourth thing I would suggest is to prepare your images. Have an easily accessible reference board of images to make it easy for you to start drawing right away. If I have to find pictures, I'm going to get distracted. If I have to get on the internet and start searching, that is a slippery slope down the Pinterest road. I'm never getting off of that. So it's really important for me to have a board that I make at the beginning of the month. I usually make this for my patrons, and it's filled with images that I can use all month long. You should take some time maybe at the beginning of the week or at the beginning of the month to create a board for yourself. Or if you are one of my patrons, use our board. It's there to help you. And number 5, don't beat yourself up if you miss a day or something gets in the way. I tend to be an all or nothing kind of person, so it was really hard for me to be lenient and forgiving and to continue my practice even when I miss a day. And I told myself at the beginning, that's what I was going to do. If I can't make it one day, it's okay. Just keep going the next day. Don't give up. And don't let one day off break your motivation to keep your creative practice going. Just keep going the next day. And finally, I think this is number 6, accept the good and the bad. You're going to have good drawing days. You're going to have bad drawing days. And usually you're going to think your drawings are way worse than they actually are. But all of them are part of your growth and development. I learn so much more from my bad drawings than I do from my drawing successes. So those flops, those are valuable, and keep in mind that they're part of your practice and they are part of learning. So don't hate them, really embrace them, because we learn a lot of lessons from our flops as well. So I hope this video inspires you to pick up your sketchbook and to start creating. If you'd like to start your own daily practice challenge and you want some guidance, or maybe you just want like a studio mate, I can be your studio mate. Hit the subscribe button and follow me on my socials. I usually post my daily drawings here and I post them on my other socials. I talk about my practice along the way. I also have a Patreon community where I create weekly prompts and reference image collections for my patrons every month to help them get started in their own daily practice as well. Thank you so much to my patrons for supporting my journey to grow my creative practice every day. Y'all are such an inspiration to me. Until next time, happy drawing. Bye.